Hello, everybody. Welcome to WordCamp Montclair. I have some other folks like slowly filtering in from the hallways and what have you. It feels so good to say welcome and not be on a Zoom screen. It's amazing. My name is Laura Byrne. I'm one of the co-organizers here this year. WordCamp Montclair 2022 would not be possible without so many people working tirelessly, donating their time just to organize and help us get going. We just wanted to, before we do some housekeeping, just mention a few brief thank yous. First of all, want to say thank you to our organizing team, some of which are in here, some of which are out there organizing, frankly. But a round of applause to everybody who helped us organize this. It has been a challenge through a pandemic. We said we all forgot how to WordCamp. It used to be so automatic. We're still learning how to do it again. Also shout out to my colleague Mike Auteri, who's in the back there. So many things, so many things. One of the things that we just want to say is with WordCamp and WordPress, you belong here. Whether you are a designer, a developer, a content creator, whether you started WordPress 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago, you belong here, you have a voice here, you are welcome here, you are respected here. Thank you for coming. If any of you need anything at any time, all of our organizers are wearing the lovely red shirts. Designed by Carolyn, one of our organizers. Just reach out to anybody in a red shirt. We will happily help you. We've been making jokes all week that we are the red shirts in Star Trek, and let's hope it doesn't end that way. But nonetheless, that is how you can find us. Another big thank you is to Kathy Druin, who is our mentor. Kathy is amazing. She came up here all the way from Atlanta to be with us today. So we are thrilled to have been under the guidance of Kathy all year as we troubleshooted any number of things. Kathy was right there with us. Yep, she does. She deserves a round of applause. We have some amazing sponsors here today. We couldn't do this without our sponsors. They are at our tables outside. Lots of them have giveaways, coupons, all kinds of things. Some are hiring. Please visit our sponsors. Let them know how much you appreciate them being here. We also have a shared swag table around to the side where they have dropped off some additional swag. As I understand it, there are Frisbees out there, so if anybody feels like they need a break for some Frisbee on the lawn, there are Frisbees on that shared swag table. Just want to mention our gold and global sponsors by name. We couldn't do it without them. They're also up here on the screen behind me. They are Bluehost, Jetpack, Nexus, Weglot, WooCommerce, WordPress.com, Amazon Lightsail, Cloudways, GoDaddy Pro, Pantheon, PMC, The Publisher's Desk, and WP Engine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And last but not least in our thanks to our speakers and volunteers who are volunteering their time, as the name is implied. They don't get paid. They're here to share their knowledge and love of WordPress. We could not do WordCamp without them. We are oh so grateful for their time that they're giving to us today. A couple of practical notes on things. We are a masks on indoor situation unless you're eating or drinking. The only other exception to that is our speakers, while they are speaking up here, well back from you, will have their masks off. At our after-party event, masks are optional there. It is largely outdoors, so feel free to do as you do. We have sanitizers around the building as well. Bathrooms are just around the corner and to the left, if you are looking for those. Locations for our tracks. Track 1 will be right in here, and immediately following me will be Joe Campbell with his keynote address. And then our second track is just down the hall, just past the sponsors and to the right. Everything is all here on one floor. Food is right at the center island, right where you saw this morning we had some coffee and grab-and-go kind of breakfast items. Lunch will be in the same location, grab-and-go lunch boxes. You can eat anywhere here in the building. There are lots of chairs, benches, what have you, and also outside. There are plenty of places outside, including directly across from this building. Lots of lovely tables and umbrellas, and feel free to spread out and be wherever you are comfortable. Our speakers, as I said, will be presenting in here and in the other room. At the end of their talk, there's an opportunity for Q&A. We're going to make sure that I believe there will be a microphone to run down to audience members so that your question is recorded onto the soundtrack that will then go up on WordPress TV and other places. And it's also important for our wonderful captioning staff. Round of applause here. She is keeping up with me in real time, folks. This is an AI. She has no idea what I'm saying, and it's coming out here, and it's going there, and it's on the screen. So yeah, massive appreciation for these captioners who do a phenomenal job. Like I said, this isn't AI. This is a real human. So yeah, for when you ask a question within a session, just please make sure you do it in a mic so it is recorded everywhere so everyone is able to hear it. Couple things at the very end. When you leave today, and we'll reiterate this in closing remarks, we have some parking vouchers for you, so you will not have to pay for your parking today. So on the way out, we'll have somebody like standing at the door going voucher, voucher, and you can just like grab right from them. So that'll make your lives easier. And then last but not least is our after party, which is at Just Jake's establishment right here in Montclair. Address is right up there on the slide behind me. Originally, we thought our start time would be 7:30. I have been informed that it is 6:30. Surprise. So immediately after WordCamp Montclair, we hope you can all join us at Just Jake's. So that is the extent of my housekeeping. Right on time, 9 o'clock. Pretty good, right? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So what I'd like to do now is introduce to you our keynote speaker, Joe Campbell. Joe Campbell is a natural-born problem solver, content creator, who uses creativity to help businesses and nonprofits of all sizes produce engaging experiences. Over the years, Joe has worked with many New Jersey-based brands, including The Vitamin Shop, NJPAC, that's the New Jersey Performing Arts Center for anybody who's not local, Liberty Travel, Cablevision, and the Stevens Institute of Technology, just to name a few. Joe is an entrepreneur, Renaissance man, jack of all trades, whatever you want to call him. He's a visionary, and we are so happy that he can share his experience today with everybody. So without any further ado, Joe Campbell.
So sorry, I didn't realize it actually started. I was outside getting promo video footage. My apologies. Okay. If someone could please. I mean, I'm a decent speaker, but having visual aids will definitely help. Can someone please bring the presentation up? I'm playing. Okay, it looks like we're having technical difficulties. Okay, well, while we wait for the technical difficulties to work itself out, my name is Joe Campbell, and I want to say thank you for being here. WordPress is a very special thing to me. I'm sure it's probably special to you all as well. That's why you're here. I've learned so much from coding to, posting things on Twitter and, various forums. And I would definitely say WordPress is truly a community. And the unique thing about a community is that oh! Let there be light. Okay. So I guess I still need to finish my point, right? So my point is this, that a community is only as great or as strong as its members. And I would definitely say for my journey of becoming more Jersey, that's one of the things that I definitely learned, that we as individuals, we have the power to make change, to do amazing things. And I'm hoping that, you guys can kind of gather that from my talk today. So first, I want to say thank you once again. I appreciate this opportunity to basically share my journey, my story. And my intent is to share a couple of highlights of my journey, which has had its ups and downs, like anyone else. And I'm hoping that you guys can receive some resources, some insight, and hopefully some inspiration to help you in your journey as well. So, prior to the pandemic, this feels kind of weird bending over like this. Let me see if I can. So prior to the pandemic, prior to, you know what? This is just technical difficulty day. Now I feel more powerful. Yeah. So prior to the pandemic, I did my fair share of traveling, both solo and with my wonderful wife. So I hit up pretty much all of the major East Coast spots. So we're talking about Baltimore, Boston, Virginia, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, all those good places, right? I love traveling. I love experiencing the food, the people, all the different, good stuff, experiences. Now, as much as I like to travel, my heart has always been here in Jersey, okay? I'm a lifelong Jersey resident. In fact, I'm actually from Montclair, born and raised. Went to Montclair High. So, my Montclair roots run deep. And you can kind of say that I have a bit of a love affair with New Jersey, okay? I'm as Jersey as you get. In fact, if you don't believe me, and I think I might have gave it away with tapping the slide too soon, but if you ask me, what school did I graduate, what college did I graduate from? Take a guess. Of course. Where else would someone who loves Jersey so much go than the College of New Jersey? So yeah, I'm as Jersey as it comes. Hashtag, Jersey made me, hashtag, Jersey's the best. So with doing this, basically, to make a long story short, I realized that, once again, as I said earlier, when you love something, when you're a part of a community, you have the opportunity to give to it. So as much as Jersey contributed to my success and growth and personal development, I felt the need to give back. So I had an idea, and the idea was to create a media company, but not just a regular media company, something that's a little bit unique and special, something that really celebrates what makes New Jersey special, our diversity, our people, all the unique elements of the north aspects of Jersey, the central aspects of Jersey and the south, because it's like we're like 3 different states in one, right? It's a very unique, complex element to New Jersey. And I had the idea, and I said, you know what? I don't want people to just watch videos and, because there's tons of content out there. I want people to really connect with each other. And I want people to not only connect with each other, but to also see all of the amazing things about New Jersey that may not be privy to them, right? Because they're not looking for it, or it's not properly communicated to them, or it may be just a little bit too far, right? It's not in their regular beaten path. So now I said, you know what? If I create this organization, this media company called More Jersey, I can help people to experience more of New Jersey, hence the tagline, experience more of New Jersey. So that's what I started to do. And along that journey, I basically, for a number of different reasons. One, lack of funding, and two, because I wanted to have an intimate relationship with the development of More Jersey, I had to wear multiple hats, okay? So basically, anything you could think of. Lead, fill in the blank, lead developer, lead graphic designer, lead writer. I'm literally doing everything. And it's not something that I'm afraid of. It's not something that I don't mind doing. It's something that I have to do because at this phase of the development of becoming More Jersey, I have to be hands-on. So that's what I've been doing. And while doing that, I've also made things, I would probably say, a little bit more difficult for myself, but in a good way. In a good way because it helps other people. And that is, I started making standards for myself, okay? So one of the standards I came up with is this: to create a content worthy of our platform and to produce a platform worthy of our content. So that's literally the dichotomy I'm always thinking about. Is this content good enough for the platform? And is the platform good enough for our content? And I feel as though by having that struggle, so to speak, right, that tension, it just makes me better, it makes anyone who I work with better, and ultimately it will make the final product better. So another one of my major challenges is that, and don't quote me, it's the saying, you have caviar taste and tuna fish budget. So I have that dilemma, so to speak, where I want this, but what I can actually execute myself or what I have a budget for is down here. But where there's a will, there's a way. So to begin with, I am not a coder, okay? I'm gonna show you some stuff later on. You'll probably say, but this is pretty good. I'm not a coder, okay? What I basically attribute what I do is the equivalent of, you can have like a Burt Bacharach, right? An amazing pianist. They can sit down, they can play by ear, they can read sheet music, and they can do amazing things. Now, you also have other people who have a gift. They have music in their head, but they don't know how to play. And they can sit in front of a keyboard and no, that's not it. And eventually back their way into the melody in their head. And that's basically how I code, okay? And I also cheat. There's nothing wrong with cheating. And this is one of my cheats. Now, this is an actual interesting, at least to me, fun fact, is that as much code as I write, whether it be, and I'll talk about later, Lazyblocks and advanced custom fields, and I've been developing websites for several years now. What's interesting is that I've probably written an entire line of PHP code about 10 times. 10 times. Like, I'm talking like opening, closing, declaration, about 10 times. Why? It's because of my cheat sheets. I literally copy and paste everything. I find a solution, I pop it in Google Doc, right? And then I just reuse it over and over and over again. It gets the job done. And I'm telling you that because I'm sure there's other people out in the audience or watching by way of internet that are not coders, and like me, you have caviar taste and a tuna fish budget. Well, you can do it as well, right? You can back your way logically into stuff. And then when you find, like I said, you find a solution, just save it somewhere. Documentation is the key. So, in my quest of creating this great website, but yet having very minimal coding skills, thank goodness we have Gutenberg. This has been my saving grace for a number of reasons. One, I have a bit of a control. I don't know what to call it, situation going on where what I see in my head, I want to actualize it, right? And then sometimes even when I get it out, it doesn't feel right, okay? And you can even ask my friends, my wife, whenever I create something, the first thing I say is, how does it make you feel? What do you think about that? Now, thinking is one thing. How does it make you feel, right? We want to always have that emotional connection. So like I said, a bit of a control freak, and even when I get things out, it may not feel right, and I have to go back and forth. In fact, I've probably thrown away more code than most average websites actually use on their live website. I'm talking like, oh, this is great, build it out, and just throw it away. Lines of code, a number of Photoshop files, but that's what you have to do sometimes. You have to, as the saying go, break a couple eggs, right? And if you want greatness, that's what you have to do. So, like I said, Gutenberg, big, major tool for me. Now, being that I have a bit of a control situation going on, Gutenberg is great, but I wanted more. So, thanks to Google, went and found another resource. And I'm not sure, by raise of hand, anyone knows about Lazyblocks? Anyone ever use? Oh my gosh. No one knows about Lazyblocks. Well, I guess I'm providing a resource today then. Okay, so Lazyblocks is, I can't even put it into words. It is the easiest way to create a custom block. And you don't have to write this down. At the end of the presentation, I will provide a QR code with a bunch of different resources that link to them, so you don't have to worry about this. So yeah, so Lazyblocks is a really easy, as you can see, way of, it's almost like advanced custom fields. You decide what the field is, whether it be a text field, a drop down, whatever, and boom, it goes into the block editor. And you can either, I'm sorry, I don't have a visual of it, but you can either use handlebars to actually output the data, or you can actually use a template file. It's an amazing tool. So between that and advanced custom fields, it just gives you total control. So you can, for example, and I'll show you guys in a minute, the event calendar. If I use a regular block, and I'm sure probably some of you guys are thinking, well, why not just use a, what's the other block when you can save the blocks again? Reusable, thank you, reusable blocks. Reusable blocks are great, but it's very linear. And what I mean by that is, what if you want to take content in like a calendar or something like that, and then break it apart, the month, the date, the year? You can't do that with that, right? Reusable blocks. You can do that with Lazyblocks because it gives you that full control on a PHP level. So definitely look into that. It's been an amazing tool for me, and I couldn't imagine not having it. So how did I discover Lazyblocks? Went online, found the YouTube video. There was only one YouTube video about Lazyblocks at the time. Watched it. I was like, wow, this is so easy. And then I was like, okay, who's the people who actually created this video? Come to find out, they're actually from New Jersey. I'm like, oh, that's a sign, right? I'm doing a website about New Jersey. I need this tool, and they're actually from New Jersey. It was amazing. I had to tweet them and, just celebrate the content that they created. So it's, like I said, it's an amazing tool. I highly recommend it. And then other than Lazyblocks, other than Gutenberg and advanced custom fields, my other main resource for getting over the technical hump has been Fiverr. So I know, by show of hand, who knows Fiverr? Everyone knows Fiverr, of course. So amazing tool. The only thing I suggest is that you get what you pay for, and start slow, okay? I've had some amazing opportunities and experiences on Fiverr, and I've had some tragedy, right? And in fact, I've had people who I'm friends with now. I literally will call my friend that I worked with on Fiverr originally. But like I said, just take it slow. But for anyone who's not a hardcore, as I call it, or heavyweight coder, if you're lightweight like me, great tool. So, other than having caviar taste and tuna fish budget when it comes to technology, there was another major hurdle that I had to get over. And I'm actually kind of still dealing through it, working through it. And it actually comes by way of a friend. So one of my buddies had a art exhibit opening, actually, once again, right here in Montclair. And I was approaching the gallery, my wife and I, and my friend Richard was outside. Now, Richard is quadriplegic. I'm sorry. He's quadriplegic. And I usually don't get teared up like this, I'm sorry. It's pretty sensitive. So my wife and I were approaching the, the gallery, and I'm like, why is he outside? And I was just about to say, yo, dude, why are you outside? And before I actually said it, I was able to utter those words, I stopped myself, and thank goodness I did, because I realized in a split second, that Richard could not attend the event. Because it didn't have an elevator. And from that day, I made a promise to never do an event that everyone couldn't attend. I can't believe this is being broadcast. I wish this was private right now, but okay, I'm going to get myself together. So, like I said, it really hit me. It hit me hard. And one day when I was coding, it was like a light bulb just went off. I realized that a website is no different than an event. It could be welcoming or not. And I started to think to myself, and this is, just in case you guys didn't know, I'm a black guy. Some people don't recognize, don't really see that. They look past that. I don't know how, but being a black male, I've experienced situations where I go to establishments and I get funny looks, or I don't get the best service. Hence, I don't feel welcomed. So I can empathize. And I told myself, no matter the cost, I'm going to make sure this website is accessible to everybody. Now, Richard, as I say, he's quadriplegic, so he doesn't have full use of his hands. And I don't know how, but this man still is able to edit video. He can't hold a fork and feed himself, but he's able to edit video. It's amazing what we can do when we have a will. So, like I said, he inspired me. And I told myself that we're going to have a standard. We're going to make sure that not only does the site look amazing and have awesome video, but anyone who comes to the site feels welcome, right? They can navigate through the website. If they have vision problems, colorblind, they can still see things. If they're using the tool to actually read the text, once again, it sounds right. It doesn't sound wonky. So, what does this mean? Obviously, you could do some things like I changed my theme, added a couple weeks to my development time, but no problem. Those custom blocks that I spoke about with Lazyblocks, had to recode a couple things. But the real challenge came when I was using third-party plugins, which obviously most of us use. And when doing that, I realized, okay, now I know. Now I'm tabbing through the website. This is entrapping the focus. Or, just little things. Once you become privy to accessibility, you know what to look for. So there's been a number of plugins I had to just remove altogether because I contacted the developer. I said, hey, this plugin's not accessible. And this is how. So I'm telling them how. I'm showing them screenshots, I'm showing them videos. I'm even linking to code snippets. One plugin developer never responded. Two of them, gave me the runaround. And then I came across Barn 2, and they develop a really cool plugin called FastCart. They're based in the UK, really good WooCommerce-based developer. And same thing, I contacted them and said, hey, this is the problem. And their support team did contact me, I'll give them that. But they said, oh, we'll look into it. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this. So what did I do? I went to Twitter. They had posted something about their plugin. And, I started off, my friend Simone will tell you, you always start nice, right? And then you give it to them. So I complimented them. Oh, great, you guys, this is a great plugin. I said, but it's not following accessibility standards. Can we do something about it? And of course, that caught the attention of the owner. A couple days later, I got an email, and things started moving. Even to the point where they made all the changes. So now, to my knowledge, this is the only side cart. So just so you guys if you don't know, side cart is that you see all the time with like Shopify. You add something to the shopping cart and it slides out. Okay, so really nice experience. And I think to date, they're the only plugin that offers that functionality and is accessible. And as I had started off saying, that as individuals, we can make a difference. So I didn't start my journey thinking, oh, I'm going to rattle things up and get these developers doing what I want them to do. I didn't think that. I was just trying to do the right thing. But I can stand here and say with pride that I made a difference. And once again, remember, I'm not a coder, right? I'm just a regular guy. Most of the people here could probably code circles around me. But when you have a voice and you want to do something positive, you can make a change. So you guys are probably thinking, oh, he's talking about doing this and coding that. Well, what is he really doing? Okay, I got something for you. We'll do a little show and tell. You guys remember show and tell? Did that as a kid? Okay, so one of the features we're going to be implementing, I think is pretty cool. Hopefully you guys will as well. And that is eventually, not for the beginning phase, but very soon, we're going to do long form videos, right? The real vision I have for More Jersey is to do like full 22-minute, programming. And to do that, you can't obviously put all that on social media. So the idea is to tease people, give people a portion of that via social media, and then let them continue the video on the website. But it needs to be seamless, right? It can't be jerky and awkward. It needs to be a smooth experience. So here's the.
I got it pretty bad because it was a time where no one knew about it, and when you got sick, everybody was like trying to stay away from you or whatever.
I haven't lost anyone due to the pandemic, but I feel for the people who have lost family members and friends during this hard time.
Essex County has one of the higher level of food insecurity across the state of New Jersey. So people facing food insecurity before was already a very concerning number. With the pandemic, almost double.
Anyone that needs can come and take, or they can add, just as you please. So I have brought with me toiletries, mostly pads and tampons, because that's an expensive item that's hard to pay for a lot of people during the pandemic who've lost their jobs.
Right now, it's getting better, but the thing is, the inflation, all the prices up, and now it's very hard for us to adjust the numbers.
Okay, so as I mentioned, this is like a short condensed version, but you get the snippet, and then from there, you can go on the website, and you see the buttons at the bottom. You can either show love, which I hope people will press. That's their way of contributing and things of that nature. But we have the continue video. So a person would then click on continue video.
As a church,
and
we're
finish
not trying to gain things and get things. We're trying to give things. And the more that we've been giving, the people have been giving to us. And so we don't even charge for like uses of our space. We have a Spanish congregation who meets there. We just gave them a key. Because I believe that that's what community is about, being faithful stewards of the community. And the more we give out, then we're being blessed in a number of ways. And the pandemic, has taken some members from our congregation, but every Sunday we gather in that space to heal from the grief, to share the love, to laugh, and just to enjoy one another's company. And I think that's what, if there's nothing else, this pandemic has taught us to be more committed to community, more committed to caring for one another, more committed to sharing what God has given us.
So the thing that makes this a little bit unique is that if you had came to this page just by way of the website, it wouldn't start from that point. It would literally start from the beginning. So it gives people the opportunity to actually, like I said, continue from social media or maybe even from YouTube or whatever other platform. But the main thing is we want people to have a rewarding experience here on this platform. I can't really show this to you, but another interesting experience that we kind of conjured up is that, is anyone familiar with tab navigation? When you tab, okay, so for people who are into accessibility, so if you don't have full control of your hands, full dexterity, right, using a mouse is hard or not possible, right? So basically you would use the tab key to jump from link to link to link, okay? So we all know that there's some navigations that's littered with links that would take forever to even get down to the content. So there's a standard where you basically, when you hit tab the first time, at the top of the page, you get links that allow you to jump to different sections, okay? Jump to the video, jump to the main content. So as I was developing, and I have now my goggles for accessibility on, I realized, I said, well, one, if we're gonna have this feature where people can continue the video, why can't people who are using tab navigation have the same experience? So we bake that in. So once again, if a video has the ability to be continued, when you hit tab, that's the first thing you see, continue video, okay? So I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice, right? It's a nice feature. And I started thinking, well, we could do better. We can do more. And I realized two other things. One, if going back to the whole point of the side fly out cart, if someone puts something in their cart, right? They want to buy a t-shirt. Do you know what they have to go through to actually activate that cart? It's like the last link at the page. No one, I'm like, why is that? So once again, a feature which I actually would like to contribute to the community eventually. If there's an item in your cart and you click the tab navigation, it will actually say open cart. So now, once again, someone with the need to use tab navigation does not have to go through link after link after link just to open the cart. Nor will they have that experience when using the helper, the chat feature. Okay, all that stuff can be accessed at the top with the tab navigation. So once again, something interesting. It's our way of ensuring that everyone feels welcomed. I'm going to show you another example. And this is an example of what we're going to be doing with our event calendar. So once again, trying to give people a rewarding experience. So most event calendars, just an event, this event, that event. What we want to do is basically package events and provide video highlights that lets people know week after week, this is what's happening in New Jersey. Now, this is important because through events, wait, by the way, this is an event right now, right? There's power in events. when we come together and we fellowship, share resources, ideas, meet people. So we want to basically, if we want to make Jersey better, we know that there's power in events, and we want people, especially now that we're still kind of dealing with the pandemic, right? We got to kind of nudge people to go out. So we're hoping that this will nudge people a bit, and you guys can tell me what you think.
There are so many amazing New Jersey events to experience. Here's a snapshot of what's happening this week. Tuesday, Sunset Beach Cleanup at Sandy Hook. Volunteer to remove trash and plastic debris to help save coastal wildlife. Thursday, Art After Dark, Speakeasy. A one-night-only speakeasy featuring casino games, swing dancing, and a live band. Friday, Atlantic City Seafood and Music Festival. A 3-day extravaganza of food, crafts, music, games, and hot air balloons. Saturday, Soul Exchange Sneaker Show. Buy, sell, and trade sneakers, clothing, and accessories. Morris County Pride 2022, a safe and fun LGBTQ+ pride celebration for children, teens, and adults alike. Summer Brew 2022, plenty of beer, food trucks, and live music by Screaming Broccoli. Sunday, Side Hustle to Empire, real estate investing seminar to help jumpstart your real estate portfolio. For more details and other New Jersey-based events, visit our website or search More Jersey Events.
What do you guys think? Thank you. So that's the goal. Like I said, to give people a unique experience and to bring people together to enhance their lives. And of course, once they get to the website, this is just a quick example of what the event calendar will look like. This is all Gutenberg. This is all Lazyblocks. There's no third-party, event tool. I was this close to pulling the trigger on one, and once again, my obsession with customization took over. And actually, to be quite honest, the tipping point, and I'm not going to say any names, but there are major event calendars, and someone may even be here representing. And I'm hoping they take this to heart. The thing that tipped the scales was that the submission form was not accessible. And once I saw that, I said, got to make a hard stance. So more time, more cost, but I want to ensure that everyone has the same experience. So outside of videos, outside of the calendar, the third main component to More Jersey is merchandise. So once again, I love New Jersey. I hope you love New Jersey, those who are from New Jersey. I think some people are from Philly or Pennsylvania. I hope you are enjoying your time here while you're in Jersey. But there's power in apparel. And we want to basically provide people with apparel that speaks to their culture, that speaks to their locale, whether it be North Jersey, Central Jersey, Montclair, Irvington, whatever town. We want people to be able to be proud of where they're from and show that. So just as a couple examples of some of the merchandise. Probably should have added music to this. That's one of my favorite, because that's me. Here's some more examples. Anybody from South Jersey? Woo-hoo. 732 area code. You guys know where I got this from? Come on. Yeah, Michael Scott, world's best. So some stuff will be parody, some stuff will be serious. But the key thing is we want people to, feel pride and to, not just buy it for themselves, but hopefully buy it as gifts as well, right? Gift for, their college kid or someone maybe from Jersey that's now in Georgia or maybe somewhere overseas. We're going to have a ton of different content that people, which we hope will like. So here's my V card. If you guys want to connect with me, if there's any resources that I can help you with, I'll tell you right now, I am a little guy, right? I'm a little guy in the sense of building this organization. I have a huge vision, a big dream. I want to change New Jersey. I want to make New Jersey better. I want to leave a legacy, right? But I realize that I have to do it one step at a time. But in saying that, if there's anyone out there who has their journey and they're a little person and they need help, I'm here. So please contact me. Let me know how I can help. And I can't leave the stage without thanking people. There's a number of people who've helped me to get where I am now. And of course, my family. I'm proud child of Jamaican immigrants. They came here to give me a better, or to give my whole entire family a better life. Thankful for that. My wonderful wife, April. And since I have the mic, I can say this, okay? I have a problem when I hear, this is usually men, and I like to thank my beautiful wife. I'm like, beautiful? Like, that's the only thing a woman can be? Like, no. Like, she's a wonderful person. Beauty is not the first quality. There's a million other adjectives, so she knows what I'm talking about. I say that all the time when I hear that. So Gabby and John, the first two people to sign on board as being a part of More Jersey. This handsome young man right here, Armando Diaz. If anyone is looking for a content creator, video content here locally in Montclair, Essex County area, you can't get any better. My remote team, LT, or Louis, Tricia, I'll say this real quick. Tricia is very special. Tricia is our proofreader, our copy editor. And one thing, yes, I can code, I can design, I could do a number of different things. The one thing I cannot do is I can't edit my own work. So I tell her all the time, you're my most valuable resource, right? So you know, whenever you can create those relationships, do it, right? And always talk personal first. That's what I try to do with her. I ask her about her garden. I ask her about her grandchildren, right? I try to, even though it's a business relationship, I always try to remember that people over projects. Because you're doing a project to benefit people. So why not always keep that first, right? So, can't finish. As I started off earlier saying, thank you to the WordPress community. And then for those people who've made financial contributions to More Jersey so far, I'd be remiss without thanking them. And as I promised, this is the QR code to a number of different resources. So Lazyblocks, the tool that I use, DonorBox, to get people to contribute. And I'm trying to think of what else. Auphonic, that's what I use for the audio mastering. There's a number of different resources. And I want to say pretty much everything is free or very reasonably priced. But I have a saying, you know, tools maketh the creator, right? Like you cannot create without tools, no matter what craft you have. So I try whenever I speak to provide some type of resources and give back and share. And lastly, please visit our website. It's morejersey.com. We have a highlight video. It tells you more about what's to come. And one thing I didn't state earlier, and I'll make this my last point, and then we can go into feedback and questions, is that I thought I would be launched by now. So you saw that event video? It was this week. It was the 25th and 24th. I thought I'd be launched. But once again, high standards, various complications, things are getting pushed back. But I'm not going to let that stop me. We have a new date, like July 17th. Hopefully that will stick. But like I said, please visit the website, learn more about us. And it's about to stop. It's about to stop. There we go. Okay. Feedback, questions, please. Okay. Oh, and applause. I'll take that too. I don't mind an applaud. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sir.
you years before I was born, and I was on the other side of Chancellor Avenue in Newark. But anyway, that's a digression. I had attended a virtual meetup of a Divi group where they were discussing accessibility. And the woman was very general. I picked up a few ideas, but I went hunting. I could not find a LinkedIn group or a Facebook group where people were discussing the topic to any real extent that they could help somebody like me who's trying to learn for the first time. So I would love to connect up with people who really know, so that people who really know can teach people who want to really learn.
Gotcha. Now, I wouldn't say I'm not an expert, right? I'm not a pro. I'm a champion, right? It's a little bit different. Someone who believes in the cause and is championing it to help others. So that's what I am. I'm still learning. I know I have a few things under my belt, but the main thing is I'm taking a stance, right? And if there's anything I can do to help you, things that I've learned, I don't want to call any organization out, but like you, I had attended a group, and this is the earlier part of my, trying to become more accessible. I raised my hand, I contacted people individually thinking that, okay, if someone is trying to make their website accessible, they'll help them. And it fell on deaf ears. So I say that to say, once we get things going with More Jersey, that's not going to happen again. I have plans for a movement to make various business, nonprofit, faith-based, you name it, startup organization websites accessible. So it's in the back of my head. It's in a Google Doc. It's just a matter of time to actually bring it to fruition. But I understand your pain, and like I said, anything I can do to help you, things that I've learned, the resources, please let me know. Oh, wow, one more question. So, yeah, I can hear you. So what do you mean by memory issue? Okay. See, so that's the problem. You should never host your videos on your web server. Okay. Okay, so basically, we're just, by the way, we're using Vimeo. Okay, Vimeo's a really good. I don't use YouTube because once again, I'm a control freak, right? And YouTube likes to put all types of stuff and, UI. I don't like that. I just want you to watch the video. I want you to be focused. So I'm using Vimeo to actually host the videos. I'm using Presto Player to actually play it. And Presto Player is a fairly new plugin, gives you a lot of control, but it has a feature where you can basically, and this is where you can get crafty, a timestamp, right? You've probably seen that in maybe other plugins. So what I'm doing is I'm using an advanced custom field called continue time. I then have a invisible div that has that timestamp. I have the Fiverr guy write the JavaScript, so that basically when you click the button, it then jumps to that timestamp. So once again, I'm not the sharpest person when it comes to coding, but I'm crafty when it comes to figuring things out, right? So once again, where there's a will, there's a way. Oh, my pleasure. Can we get one more, please? Because she looks like she's eager. Okay, this is it, last person. You.
Thank you. Whoa.
Volume.
I just wanted to thank you for what you bring about accessibility. It is something that I have had a hard time getting motivated about as a developer. So you've really helped me motivate. My question is about your event process, the events. Did you build that yourself in blocks? I didn't quite understand how that happened.
Okay, so basically an event listing is a post. In particular, it's a custom post type. And then using Gutenberg, I then have a custom lazy block called the event detail. In the event detail, and this is where it gets hopefully not too complicated, it's actually, you don't actually enter the content in the block editor, you enter it in advanced custom fields. It then pulls the advanced custom fields into the block and displays it. And then on the back end, I'm able to manipulate stuff. So start date, end date. But then I can break that into month, into day, into year. So I hope that I made it. And just to real quick in regards to accessibility, I would say do the same thing I did. Make it personal. Imagine going to a restaurant or to a golf outing and it's a boys club, and they're making you feel like you don't belong. That's what made it, make it personal. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone.